Welcome back. A bill titled the No Rogue Rulings Act is on its way to the Senate. House Republicans recently passed the legislation which looks to curb federal judges' ability to issue nationwide injunctions. GOP lawmakers have been looking for ways to respond to judges seen as blocking President Trump's agenda. Trump and his ally, Elon Musk, have publicly pushed Republicans to go even further than that and impeach judges impeding the administration. But the House GOP leadership has signaled that it doesn't have the votes to greenlight the effort and is pursuing other avenues. This bill is one of those avenues. Meantime, this Tuesday, lawyers and judges from across the political spectrum will come together for a virtual rally to speak in defense of judicial independence and the rule of law. Among the speakers is District Court Judge Esther Salas, whose life forever changed when a gunman targeted her family, killing her son at their home. Judge Salas joins us now. Judge, really appreciate your time. Can we first get your reaction to this bill passed in the House this week?
You know, I am going to really focus on the threats to judges all over this nation right now. I found out recently that in addition to pizzas being delivered as a form of intimidation to judges and their children, now they're attaching my son's name on the orders of these pizzas. It's horrible to imagine that my son, who was love and light, is now being used, literally weaponized, to intimidate judges and their families. And for me, I think we're all focused at the moment on these acts of intimidation, violence, and all forms of acts that really try to chill the judiciary and its independence. So I'm focused on that, Isabel. I'm focused on really this Speak Up for Justice event, which is this coming Tuesday, April 15. We are uniting to really talk about supporting the judges and supporting the rule of law and really focusing on this constitutional framework that has held this country together for well over 200 years. And so for me, it's about speaking to the acts of violence and intimidation and how we can try to stop that.
And Judge, I believe that is a drawing of your son right behind you. And did I hear you correctly?
Yes, that is my light, my love. And he's with me always. And he's with me now as I spread this message of love and light and support for our judiciary.
Yeah, and did I hear you correctly that you've heard of other judges getting pizzas delivered to them as a form of intimidation with your son's name on those deliveries?
Yes, you have heard me correctly. It hasn't been widely reported, but there has been in the last few weeks, pizzas being delivered, pizzas that were not ordered by these judges, pizzas that are being delivered to judges' homes. That one tells the judge, I know where you live. Then that got escalated. They started sending pizzas to the judge's children. That tells the judge, one, we know where you live, and now we know where your children live. Well, as of this week, Tuesday night, a judge received a pizza. Actually, it was Monday night was the first pizza at his home, and the pizza was sent by Daniel Anderl, my son. And sadly, we found out on Thursday the fourth pizza delivered to a judge with Daniel's name associated to it as the sender or the orderer of the pizza. They're literally using my son and his beautiful memory to weaponize and intimidate judges all throughout this country. This is something that we have to speak to, and that's what we're going to do at Speak Up for Justice on Tuesday. And we're asking people to register for it. I know that you have the link to it, and I hope you're sharing it. We want people to really join. We want to shed light on this and not heat. We want to come together as Americans. We want to talk about the rule of law. We want to talk about the Constitution. And we want to talk about how we can support the judiciary in this country. It's so important for us to come together and this division and this hatred, and it just has to stop. We have to come together as opposed to continuing to fight one another.
And Judge, you've seen the worst of what could happen. Any mother's worst nightmare, violence becoming a reality. How are you supposed to do your job if you're a judge and you get these threats to your family?
Mark and I lost our only child, Daniel, on July 19, 2020. I tell everyone that he was a miracle baby because I had 4 miscarriages, 3 before him and 1 after. And I can speak, and Mark and I can speak to the value of human life. And we know what it's like because we live with the pain of not having our son with us anymore in this world. And so I say that what we're doing to judges and what when we see this administration, certain members of Congress, people in power calling us corrupt, calling us partisan, calling us rogue judges, putting the words wanted by certain judges. This type of rhetoric, this inflammatory rhetoric, is giving license to the people that are trying to intimidate these judges. We need to start speaking impeccably. We need to start remembering that words matter. How we treat each other, that matters. How our leaders react to the rulings that might be unfavorable, that matters. Because Americans look to their leaders for guidance. And that's why it's so important that our leaders lead with courage, that they support the judiciary. Republicans, Democrats, independents alike need to speak up for justice. And we're really hoping by Tuesday's event that we can begin to bring us together as opposed to tearing us apart. That's what we're aiming to do on Tuesday, April 15th. And we're asking that your viewers and everybody who loves this country, that they sign on and support the judiciary, support us, and speak up for justice.
Of course, and good point that this rhetoric does have real life consequences, as you unfortunately have seen firsthand yourself. Judge Esther Salas, thank you for your time and your vulnerability too.
Thank you so much for covering this story. And remember, speak up for justice.
Thank you, Judge.